رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه أما بعد. All thanks and praises are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I bear witness that He is the only one with no associate, and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is His servant and messenger. Allah says in the Al-Quran, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اتَّقُوا اللَّهَ حَقَّ تُقَاتِهِ وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. O ye who believe, fear Allah the way He should be feared and never die unless in the state of Islam. He says again, يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسِ اتَّقُوا رَبَّكُمُ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُم مِّن نَّفْسٍ وَاحِدَةٍ وَخَلَقَ مِنْهَا زَوْجَهَا وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. O you who believe, fear Allah. O mankind, fear your Lord who created you from one soul, and from that soul He created for him his partner, and from the twain He created for them their offspring. So fear your Lord from whom you attain your sustenance, and fear the womb that bore you, because Allah is watching over you. In the sense that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam were told that the best of words are the words of Allah, the best of guidance is the guidance of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he warned us against going astray. For anyone who involves in innovation goes astray, and anyone who goes astray end up in the hellfire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us onto the right path. Today our topic is about benefits of being kind to people, or showing kindness, or being kind, or being good in any way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made everything in twos, good and bad, night and day, sun and moon, and so on. So in showing kindness, you must have a reason, and the reason has to result to something. The same applies to doing bad. You should also have a reason, and the reason has to result to something. That's either the benefit of doing good or the punishment for someone who involves in doing bad. So today we're talking about kindness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَا تَسْتَوِي الْحَسَنَةُ وَلَا السَّيِّئَةُ ادفع بالتي هي أحسن فإذا الذي بينك وبينه عداوة كأنه ولي حميم. That kindness cannot be compared to bad. So these two are not comparable. Something you do good, you cannot say that good thing is the same as doing bad. So he says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, idfa' billati hiya ahsan. So you should repel or reply, or you should do in position of any of the two, you have to do that with that which is better. That means you have to show kindness. فَإِذَا الَّذِي بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ كَأَنَّهُ وَلِيٌّ حَمِيمٌ. In case there's enmity between you and someone, then treat him as a close friend. Now, in this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us to understand, in a nutshell, someone may harm you, be he a friend, be he a relative, be he even your own children, or be he your wife, or so be the person your wife. So anyone at all could harm you, could do something bad, or could offend you, in short. And Allah is saying that goodness and bad cannot be the same, so you should reply with good. Because if you reply with bad, it stands the same. What he or she has done towards you that is bad will earn the person a bad reward. So if you should also want to have bad, then you do the same, and you be as the person, or the same like that person. So Allah is encouraging us to always do good. Now, showing kindness to people In the sense of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he made us to understand that Allah has written good or kindness on everything. Anything that you do, whether you are worshiping your Lord or you helping another human being of any kind, or you even showing kindness to the animal, whatever good that you do, Allah will reward you. So he says, Allah has written good or kindness on everything. So whoever intends to do good, by having that intention alone, Allah write for you a reward that you have done good without doing that good. Maybe you are not able to have that possibility. The capability of doing that good has not come yet. For instance, you want to help someone and that person needs €5 and you have €2 in your pocket. You've not been able to offer that 5, but you are saying in case you get 5, make it complete, you are going to help that person. The one who will make you have that €5 is the maker of €5, is Allah. And Allah didn't give you that €5, but He knows very well that in your heart, if you should have that €5, definitely you're going to help that person. So Allah rewards you even though you have not done. That is why the ulama or the scholars are saying that always have good intention, because intention is working is even you don't actually execute the action. Good. And helping people must have a condition. Whenever you have to do good to someone, there should be a reason for you doing that good. Either you do that good, or you show that kindness, or you help that person because of Allah, then you leave the result with Allah. And if you seek a reward, Allah will reward you in return. That's one. Or you do it because you want Him also to do good to you. So you help Him with the left hand, and you would like Him to reply or to help you back in future with the right hand. So it means that now you are not expecting the rewards from your maker, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but you want the same person to reward you. Or you are helping someone, and by helping that person, you want people to know that you are a good person. At that time, the intention is that you want people to see that you have done good. So when you do, people will praise you and you will be happy, and so you have also received your rewards. So within these three, which of them is more better for you to do? The best among the three is to do it for the sake of Allah and leave it in the hands of Allah, for Allah shall reward you in return, because He has made a promise. Man hamma bi hasanatin, the Prophet Muhammad says, anyone who think of doing good, kutiba lahu hasanatan wahida, it is already written for him one good, that he has already done one good. فَإِنْ عَمِلَهَا kutibat lahu ashara, and if he does this good, Allah write for him 10 times the good or the kindness that he has done. And وَمَنْ حَمَّ بِسَيِّئَةٍ, and if anyone should intend to do bad, لَمْ يُكْتَبْ لَهُ شَيْئًا, nothing will be written against him. وَإِنْ عَمِلَهَا كُتِبَ لَهُ سَيِّئَةً وَاحِدًا, but if only he does that bad, then only one bad is written against him. This is to show the mercy of Allah. You make an intention to do good, it's already written that you have done good. If you do that good, it's written for you 10 times because of His mercy. So if you intend to do bad, nothing is written against you. If you do bad or you execute the bad, then it's written against you only one. Now, we mentioned 3 different types of intentions. Either you intend because you want to do for the sake of Allah, or to do because you want a reward in return, or you do because you want people to praise you. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, someone will come on the day of judgment and will confirm that in this world he did good, and so he is expecting rewards from Allah. then Allah will say, you did that good because you wanted people to praise you. And people praised you at the time that you did that good, and you were content with it. So nothing for you this day. That is on the day of judgment. Then someone will come and say, oh Allah, I fought so that I did that for your sake. Allah will say, no, you fought because you want people to say you were a brave person, and they did say it while you were in the world, and so your rewards are gone. Some will also come and say, oh Allah, I fought for your sake. Allah will say you fought because you want people to know that you are a fighter. They said it and everything is over. So brothers and sisters, we have to understand one thing, that our intention is very, very important. And whatever you do, do it for the sake of Allah and don't expect rewards in return. I will give two different stories of two different prophets. And after that, we will relate that type of story or these two stories to an incident in this our present time. So that we can relate within this three and see the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in return to someone who did something for the sake of Allah. Good. Before we go on to say that, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has made us to understand that Allah is saying these words. Oh, my servant, I was sick and you failed to visit me. Oh, my servant, I was in need, poor, and you failed to help me. Let's take only these two after the hadith. Allah will ask, and the person will ask, oh Allah, how? When you are the creator, how then will you fall ill and expect me to visit you? Then Allah will reply, my servant, then he will call a name of someone who was sick, a close friend or a friend that you knew about in this world was sick and was at the hospital, wanting people to visit him in order to encourage him about his ailment. You knew about that, but you didn't care to go and visit him at the hospital. So Allah will say, so and so person was sick and was in need of visitors. You failed to go and visit him. If you had gone to visit him at that time, that is in this world, you would have found me closer. My servant was in need of help, be he a beggar, or in any case, he was in need of help. He was poor. He asked for favor, and you failed to help him. If you had helped him, you would have found me closer. So with this two, Allah is telling you that if you should do any of this good for his sake, then you would find Allah closer, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will support you. Allah will reward you in return. Whether if even you are also in the same condition in future, Allah will make someone else come and help you or do something in your favor. Or Allah can reward you in another way, not even to make you sick. The same applies to in case someone is in need and you help him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall help you in a way that you don't even all expect at all. Now there's two stories I mentioned about are the stories of Musa alayhi salam and Yusuf alayhi salam, Moses and Joseph. In the story of Musa alayhi salam, that is Moses, this is not a strange story, it's a story that is known to all. But let's try to see the wisdom in this story. Musa alayhi salam, Moses was in the house of King Pharaoh. So he was like a princess, let me put it that way, because even though King Pharaoh didn't like him, but his wife liked him. So they took him in as a son. Of course, the story is completely known to each and every one of us. But when he grew to realize his origin, it happened that he committed an offense. So the offense was that in case they get him, they are going to kill him. Due to that, he escaped. So when he escaped, at that time he became a person who is wanted by the king, who is King Pharaoh. So anyone who should find Musa alayhi salam at that time, the person is going to report him to the king, or is going to send him to the palace, and what will happen? He might even lose his life. Due to that, he went to a place known as Madian. On his arrival, he didn't have anyone to receive him. So there was no host. He went in order to relax after all his tiredness. At that time, he had no wife, no children, no nothing. The only thing he had in this world was the staff, the stick he was having in his hand. And remember, at that time, he didn't receive prophecy. So what happened was that he went and sat under a tree, according to how the Quran narrated, relaxing and thinking about his problems. So he found two girls who were taking care of the cattle. They had like a herdsman. They were taking care of the cattle. And someone came in when the girls wanted the cattle to go and drink water. There was someone who came, or some individuals came to prevent the cattle from taking or from drinking water. This used to be their practice every day because their father was an old man, and so they were helping the father in order to take care of the sheep. So when they were being forced to leave the place, at that time, that means weakness had come to them. Now Musa alayhi salam saw the incident with his eyes. He was a poor person because he had no one, no money. He was supposed to be a captive because of what he has done. He is running away from danger. He didn't have anyone in this world at that time closer to him. So he had to be thinking about his problems. But Allah gave him something. That was even the result or why he escaped from King Pharaoh. He hit someone and the person died. So Allah gave him strength. He had strength. And the situation the girls were facing at that time needed strength. You see, he didn't have money. He was a poor person. He didn't even have home, nothing. But Allah gave him strength. So he felt that I could help, or I can help these girls by going to fight for them. Then the cattle can be able to drink water. And that was what he did. After doing that, remember, he did it because of Allah. So after doing that, he didn't ask the girl anything for anything. He returned to the tree and then relaxed. We all knew about the story. But these girls felt that, oh, this man helped them so much, to the extent that when they went home to their father, they said, Father, this was actually what happened while we were taking care of the cattle. They narrated a story. The father was pleased with the incident, and so he sent for Musa alayhi salam. They came to call him, and when he he went to the father. Then the father asked him finally if he could serve him so that he would get him married to one of his daughters. According to the story, it meant that the father demanded for 7 or 10, depending on his own will. And the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said Musa ﷺ served the man for a complete 10 years. He got him married to his daughter. That's one. So because of the kindness or the good that he did, he found a house. So he was now being hosted by the father of these girls. He found at least some relief. He didn't need any money again. He didn't need any food or anything outside the girl to suffer for, because he was to be taken care of by this man. And finally, he had a job. The job was what actually fetched him the benefit of getting married to his the man's daughter. So it means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the kindness that Musa alayhi salam did in order to reward him in return of having an abode, having a family, having a family, finally getting married. And from there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him prophecy when he went towards the mountain. Now, what we needed from this story was that the kindness he showed by going to help someone, even though he was in need, but still yet he found, or he realized that he can be useful for these girls. He did help them, and that actually rewarded him greatly. The second story is about Yusuf alayhi salam. Yusuf alayhi salam, Joseph was in prison, of course, to make the story short. In prison, he didn't have anyone. Of course, Allah informed us that that was also a way of relieving him from something that was going to be more dangerous. In any case, in prison, he met two people. And these two guys had a dream, or had different dreams. One said he saw himself pressing wine. The other also said he found himself carrying bread, and from the bowl, birds were eating from the bread. They were eating the bread. Then Yusuf alayhi salam, at that time, Allah had given him knowledge of to interpret dreams. So it said, the one carrying the host, which is the bread, and the birds were eating from the bread, will die, and then finally birds will eat from his dead body. Then as for the one who was pressing the wine, he is going to serve his master. That means the king. Good. Later on, I mean, there were three prisoners. These two had a dream, and they asked Yusuf alayhi salam, that's Joseph, and so he translated, or he interpreted the dream to them in order for them to understand the knowledge concerning the dream. And he said, this is not from me, it's from Allah. So he did it for them because of Allah. So while he was in the prison, these two guys were released from prison. So when they, of course, after freedom, everyone went his way. The one who was to serve the king ended up serving the king, as the dream actually narrated concerning the interpretation of a dream by Yusuf alayhi salam. But he forgot to remind, when he was going, Yusuf alayhi salam said, remind me. That means remember me when you go to the king. That there might be a favor because of what I have actually did in return. In the case of Yusuf alayhi salam, Allah became angry. He sent Jibril alayhi salam telling or asking Yusuf alayhi salam, who protected you from the wife of the minister who was trying to seduce you? Then he said, Allah. Who rescued you from your brothers who were trying to kill you? Then he said, Allah. Then he said, now, do you have anyone beside Allah that you're asking the guy to remind the king about you? In any case, that prolonged his presence in the prison. That was another narration concerning the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. Then the king had a dream, and in that dream he saw cattle. Some were very good living cattle. After that, he saw those who were shrunk, and then they got shrunk because of what? Famine. And then later on, he saw also a good situation. In any case, it happened that Yusuf alayhi salam had another chance of translating or interpreting the dream, or the second dream, to these people. The guy who went to serve the king finally realized that, oh, I was in the prison and I met a guy, or I met someone who was able to interpret a dream. And so when the king had a dream, he told people that were around. This guy said, okay, I know someone who can actually translate this dream for you in truth. Then he said, who is he? Then he said, that was a prisoner, and that prisoner is known as Yusuf. He is in the prison. The king sent for him. When he came, then he asked him about a dream. Then Yusuf alayhi salam said, you are going to farm. You will grow fruit, or you will grow food. You will harvest the food and for 7 years. And after that, there is going to be another time of famine. There is not going to be food because maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to make the rain not to fall, the earth not to till any longer. So for that period of time, you are going to have face famine, and after that, Allah will release you or will relieve you from that pain. So Yusuf alayhi salam gave them a tactical procedure of making sure that when they harvest the food this year, they should try to have or preserve some for the following year, because there's going to be another situation that is not going to be good. And after that, inshallah, Allah is going to make things better. In any case, the dream he translated or he narrated or interpreted for them actually benefited them. And to this regard, the king employed him, Yusuf alayhi salam, into his government. And then when he was going to employ him, Yusuf alayhi salam said, okay, if that be the case, make me Minister of Finance, because I have knowledge about how I can run your economy. And that was what actually did happen. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that through that, we made him a prophet, and then also made him or gave him a relief for him to be within the government of the Pharaoh of those days. So in any case, within these two dreams that I made these examples that I gave about Yusuf alayhi salam and about Musa alayhi salam, they did this. They were not expecting anything from anyone. And Allah rewarded them. And the reward of Yusuf alayhi salam was that Allah made him a prophet. Allah gave him an abode, not even to go and live in any other person's house, but rather in the house, in his own house, under the eyes of the king of those days. And finally, Allah made the brothers to come to him in weakness in the sense that they were trying to kill him, but now Allah gave him power over them, and he also said he has forgiven them, and Allah forgive them as well. So these are examples that I've just given, and I'm going to give a third example, which each and every one of us knew about. And why I'm actually narrating this story is for us to encourage one another to be able to show kindness to people anywhere that you are. Be you in Europe, be you anywhere in this world, whatever kindness you be able to do, or you have the possibility of showing kindness to someone, please don't waste time. You don't know what is going to happen in the next future, or you don't know how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward you in return. It might be even a result or a reward that may be of your, may relieve you from all pain, and maybe relieve you from your hardship. We all know about this young man recently in France who is being named the Superman. I think this is not a strange story, not about prophecy we're talking about these days. Now, if you look at the condition of this young boy, he was a refugee. He didn't have any legal residence in that country. His situation was not very good in that country. Then the situation happened that, okay, this sort of nature of this accident, that a child was falling off all these buildings, and if he falls, definitely he's going to die. The only thing that is holding the child is, I think, one of the parents was holding his hand, but the power was not so much enough that he could lift him up. And we saw, as it been showed in the video, that this boy, by the will of Allah, he climbed until he went there. And when he arrived there, alhamdulillah, he saved the child. And let's see what was actually the result. The result was that, alhamdulillah, he was seeking for just a residence to be able to live in France. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him to have citizenship of the country. He was someone who is supposed to be loitering around the street. Allah made him so popular. Thirdly, Allah made even the government to recognize him. And finally, he was being employed by the state. He went to visit his parents, and alhamdulillah, he is now, bismillah ta'ala, in a very happy condition or situation. The situation, all the issue here is that this boy, before going to take that task, he didn't have any intention of doing anything at all. He only saw a situation. That was why when they asked him immediately, this guy was a Muslim actually, when they asked him immediately how he did it, he first mentioned the name of Allah. That is something we have to actually take as an example. Nothing happens in this world just by chance. Everything is under the eyes of Allah. Anything that you want to do, brothers and sisters, you have to do it for the sake of Allah. You don't have to do it for the sake of anyone. You want to help someone, help the person. Don't expect anything in inherited, because you are a human being. Today it can be you, tomorrow it will be someone else. Today you are having a very good situation, tomorrow you may need someone's help as well. Everyone needs help, even the king, the layman, the rich, the poor, everyone needs help at a time. So that this is the world in which we are living. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us to understand that the human being is supposed to be kindness, to show kindness to another person. You are not showing kindness only to the human being. You even show kindness to the animal, kindness to anything that is around you. Anytime you can do something that is good, you have to do that good. Therefore, if you do that good, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, is going to reward you greatly. Don't forget about the story of someone who actually fed a dog, okay, because he was thirsty, and then he had water to drink, and later he saw the dog was trying to lick the earth because of what a place that was wet, and he said that this dog is as thirsty as I was before Allah enriched me with water. So he tried to also give water to the dog, and through that, in accordance to the hadith of Prophet, this rewarded him paradise. And a woman who used to pray and worship Allah so much punished a cat, to the extent that the cat had no other means but rather to die. And finally, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward her because of the situation in which, or because of her action. That is why, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has encouraged us to do good. And hasanat was sayyat, and he says, al jaza'u min jinsil amal. That means we only are really rewarded in accordance with your deeds. If the deeds are good, you'll be rewarded with good. And if the deeds are bad, you'll be rewarded with bad. And today, alhamdulillah, in Europe, those who have traveled to so many different countries, be it in America, in Canada, anywhere in this world, or in Europe, or anywhere outside out of their country, you are strangers. When you have to think about the way, when you came newly, you arrive into situations were not very good. Alhamdulillah, today you are living in a good situation. And someone also comes newly, is also trying to seek relief from pain. If you are able to help him, brothers and sisters, you can help him, not for anyone, but you help him for the sake of Allah. Remember, you are also having children. These children are also going to live. It continues that way. If even Allah does not pay you in the sense that Allah does not do something for you that you can see as a reward of what you have done. Remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Inna Allah la yudhi'u ajra al-muhsinin. Allah will never lose, or will never make the rewards of someone who is good to go for a waste. Whatever you do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward you. If Allah reward doesn't make you see it in this world yourself, then Allah is going to reward you after you're dead. You have children, you have grandchildren. It's just like what happened to the people of Ashab al-Kahf. The people of the story of Musa alayhi salam with Khidr, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala erected, make them a house to be repaired or renovated because of the riches or treasures that were hidden under the building, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا, because the parents were good people. So Allah made this to continue. And some scholars are saying that the benefit followed not only the children but until the grandchildren. So whatever you do in this world, brothers and sisters in Islam, do it for the sake of Allah. You will see the reward, you will see the result here in this world, and on the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward you in return. The same applies to anyone who does bad. The same thing is going to follow him. So it's better you do good, but what is very, very important in doing good is that you do it for the sake of Allah and Allah alone. And with this, we have come to the end of today's lesson, inshallah. Anything that we say that is right is from Allah, and anything we say that we might have committed, Allah is from me and from Satan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. May Allah reward us with Iman. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cleanse our bodies. May Allah reward us with every good that we do, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always put us on the right way. May Allah increase our faith, and may Allah make us to always be beneficial to people, to do good that we can be able to help others. And whatever we do, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it be in our scale of good. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards our parents with paradise, those who are dead and those who are still alive. May Allah make the doors of paradise for their children. Our children, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them, make them more better than us. And also those who are seeking, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them what they are seeking from Allah. Those that are seeking marriage, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them good spouses. Those that are married and they are seeking children, may Allah give them good children. And those that have children, they are and then those who have children, also their children are giving them problems. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala relieve them from their problems, and may Allah cleanse them and make them good. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make everything that we hear benefit us here in this world and in the judgment. And with this I say, Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.